If we can just ignore the lipstick smudge, that would be awesome. Hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Snedra and today I'm going to be doing my June, March, April, May, June, July. My July wrap up. So July was surprisingly a good month for me, which, you know, the last couple of months haven't been like the best reading months, but I've actually read quite a few books. Some of them I did read online, so I have these here first. So these are the books that I read physically, and then I read one ebook. So let's go into the books that I finished. So the first book that I finished was in fact The Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. We follow our main character Selena Sardothian, who has been taken from the salt mines where she was serving her punishment for trying to commit treason against the king. She comes back to the palace in order to compete in a competition to win the title of the King's Champion. She is an assassin and she is Ardalin's best assassin. So that's pretty much the main plot line, I want to say, of the first book. The second book follows the events after the first book, and I can't obviously go into details because it is a bit of a spoiler, but yes, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars because obviously this book is one of my favorites from any of Sarah J Maas's work. I really love it. It's heartbreaking. Whew, it's heartbreaking, but I love it. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I actually finished was Lady Helen and the Dark Days Club by Alice Goodman. This is a Regency period romance paranormal fantasy book. I know there's a lot of words there. In this we follow our main character Lady Helen, who is coming to the age where she gets to debut to the society. And in doing so, she begins to discover that there is a couple of things that she didn't realize about her family, and there's also a sort of like murder mystery aspect as well. So yes, I really enjoyed this book. There were some aspects of it that were slow, but I also really like historical fiction, so I didn't really mind that much. Also, the ending has me intrigued, so I definitely want to pick up the next book. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars as well. The next book I finished, I am really excited about finishing. I have attempted to read this book multiple times throughout my life, and this is the first time that I've actually finished it and actually understood what was happening. So the book I'm talking about is The Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings. This is the first book in the Belgorod series. This is a very old fantasy series, I guess you could say. In this, we follow our main character Garion, who is a simple farm boy living on a farm with his aunt, and every so often there is this old man who comes and stays at the farm for a couple of days. He tells stories of like magicians and magic and things like that, and somehow this old man knows Garion's aunt and asks her to join him on a quest that goes gallivanting across the country, and she says that she can't leave Garion, so he gets brought along. During this quest, he discovers that things are not what they seem and that all of the stories are becoming true. This series is close and dear to my heart because this is actually the series that has a character where my parents named me after. So my name is Snedra, and Snedra is one of the characters that is in this series, although she doesn't appear until book 3, I think. I've tried to read this book multiple times throughout my childhood, and because it was just a little bit too dense for, you know, like little 12-year-old me, I didn't really like it, didn't really understand it, but now that I'm obviously older and I've read more acquired things, I understood it, and yeah, it was really good. It was a very slow book. I'm not going to lie. Not much happens. We basically just follow Garion and the troop that he's traveling with go across the country, which is basically this entire book until I get to a certain point. But with that being said, I didn't feel bored. There is a lot of banter between the characters, there is a lot of dialogue between characters, and you're getting different tastes of the myths and the lore of the world. And so I really liked that aspect of it. I really like how you get to meet the characters and you get to know the characters along with Garion, and there is just so lovable characters. I love them so much already, and I'm terrified if any of them die. I don't know what to expect. So yes, I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars because it's the beginning of a series, so I thought a 3 was pretty good. The next book that I finished, I was actually really excited to start, and that is The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. This book, ugh, I loved it so much. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it so much. Ugh. So this story follows our main character Alessandra, who decides that she wants to be queen and she's going to kill the king in order to become queen. But she has to like marry him and, you know, make him fall in love with her and so forth. So she then goes to this ball that the king has, where he has to try and find a, you know, person to marry because the council's making him do it. And she is just like, I will make him come to me. I ain't going up to no king. He can come to me. And just, oh, I love her so much. Her self-confidence is just, ugh. I want her self-confidence so much. Yes, as she is courting the king, there is a couple of attempts on his life that then throw a bit of a spanner into her plans, because like she's trying to kill him. She doesn't need other people killing him first, because like that's gonna ruin her plans. So yes, I loved the banter. I know some people didn't think that this was a very it's targeted as a Slytherin romance, and I can see that. It's not really Slytherin. I just say that they're kind of like sassy bitches towards each other. Like, the king is so sassy. One of my favorite parts, this isn't a spoiler, but one of my favorite scenes is that Alessandra gets a love letter from this like lord or something, and it's so stupid. It's like the cringiest romance letter you could think of, and the king reads it and laughs out loud about it, and it's like, this guy's insane, he is so in love with you. And I just thought that was hilarious, and that just sounds like exactly what a Slytherin would do. And he's all like, I could write one better than this, which is, you know, definitely what a Slytherin would do, because I mean, we have to be the best. So I did really enjoy the banter and the sassiness and everything that was going on. The romance, I didn't want to say it was insta-lovey, but at the same time it became friends first, that people who understood each other. And so I really enjoyed that, and reading them become closer and their feelings becoming more known towards each other. And it was just, ugh, I loved it so much. I read this within like 3 days. I was so invested in this. I loved it so much. And there was a plot twist at the end that I had no idea that was going to happen. So yes, 5 out of 5 stars for me. Then the next book that I read, I actually got off Scribd, which was my first time using Scribd. And I'm liking it so far, except I wish that they had more ebooks available, and they had more options available as well. But so far it's going okay. And the book that I read was actually The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. So if you guys don't know, this is V.E. Schwab's first ever published book. So I was really excited going into this to see what like Baby V had written, and oh my god, it was incredible. Like, everything that I love about V.E. Schwab, her atmospheric writing, her characters, her world building as well, they were all in this book. And I don't know why people didn't enjoy it as much as like what I enjoyed it back when it was first published. Ugh. So this story, I want to say it's kind of like a fairy tale. So we follow a character, Lexi, who is living in this town called Nia, and it lives in like the freaking forest almost, like it's on the border of the forest. And there is a stranger that comes to town, which is not normal for this small town called Near, and everyone suddenly goes into a frenzy. They're like, where is he? We need to speak to him. What is he doing here? And then the next night, after the stranger appears, a child goes missing from his room. So we then go on this journey to try and discover who the stranger is, why did he come to Nia, where are the children going missing, and it's like a fairy tale. Like it's like a campfire story that you tell the kids, because there is this myth about the Nia witch who was killed and slaughtered by the townsfolk, and you can hear her voice on the wind and you can't listen to it and blah blah blah. I found it really, really intriguing. It was atmospheric. I was getting creeped out at moments. It was just incredible. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So if you guys are looking for like a book that will help you get into the Ishwab's writing, I would definitely suggest this one, because the premises isn't too hard to follow. It's quite simple, because it is sort of like a fairy tale retelling storybook type of thing. So I would definitely give this a shot. Alright, so I believe that is all of the books that I read in July. Go me! I actually finished a bunch of books. How exciting! So I'm actually really proud of myself for finishing this many books. I especially considering like I haven't read past like 3 books in 1 month for the last few months. I am really, really happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts were down below in the comments. If you are new, please, 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 please hit that subscribe button down below. I would love for you to join me and my channel, and we can talk about books and stuff. And if you want to follow me more, then you can go ahead and check the links in the description box where you can see Instagram and Twitter. Pretty please. Please let me know what you guys read down below in the comments, and if you have read any of these books, please let me know what you thought were down in the comments. And also, you guys should totally check out The Pawn of Prophecy, because it was really good, and you'll see my name in there in book 3. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in another one later on. It's stupid makeup smudge.